All right, Carter, what's been on your mind recently?
Well, I don't know. It's not voluntarily on my mind. It's just been eating away at me. But this nicotine addiction that I have, and it's not just nicotine. It's a pen addiction, like a e-cigarette addiction.
All right, so you're struggling with your nicotine addiction. What kind of products do you use?
Well, it's mostly vape, whatever vape you can get for $20 at the store. Not only is it bad for me and I'm addicted to it, but my health
Okay.
um, and money is going down the drain. I just spend so much on it. It's annoying.
Yeah. How much do you think you spend on, vapes?
I probably go like $50 a week on it.
Okay. And how often would you say you're vaping?
Oh, every day. Like, there's not really a point where I don't vape, except when I'm sleeping, which is pretty obvious. But I yeah, I can't get away from it. It's
Okay.
hard to get through a class without doing it.
Okay.
And there's
So,
also something else that really gets in the way of my personal life with it.
really, can you expand on that?
Yeah. This is bad. This is so bad. But when I play basketball, I can't go without vaping, and I have to rush out of the play and go to my bag and get my vape and just use it during the play. And I start coughing, and it's so bad. Like, I feel out of breath after that, and I can't play as well as I want to, and I feel like people judge me for it also.
Okay. So, you're kind of thinking about it during class and when you can hit your vape as soon as you get out of class, and you're also using it when you're hanging out with friends and during like physical activity. Um,
Yeah.
so, what would a typical basketball game with your friends look like when you need to vape?
Um, well, it doesn't matter if we're up or if we're down or if I'm playing well or if I'm playing bad. I still have to use the vape. It's just, I'm honestly ashamed of it, and it sucks because nobody else has to do that, and I feel like the odd man out.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. You feel isolated. You feel judged. Um,
yeah.
why do you think you feel judged?
Well, it's just, I mean, there's a lot of people in peak physical shape that I play with, and I feel like I'm in pretty good physical shape, except for the fact that I have to use a vape while I'm playing. I feel judged because they don't need that, and they give me weird looks.
Okay, so your health is pretty important to you. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Um, why do you think the vape is your one exception to your health?
Oh, I definitely just think it's because there's an addiction. That's the only reason.
Yeah, you're physically addicted to it. It's almost like you can't control it.
Yeah, I can't control it, but it's probably more than that because when I try to use different products like nicotine lozenges or like any new product they come out with that doesn't involve smoke, it just doesn't do the same thing for me. I think I'm fixated on the vape aspect of it.
Okay. Um, all right. So you've tried other products because vaping isn't particularly healthy for your lungs and the smoke aspect of it isn't
Yeah.
great for you. So you've tried to find alternatives. Um, you do worry about your health and how the vape is affecting you. Um, and you've come to the conclusion that you like the vape. You like something where you can put your mouth to and, you know, you get relief from that.
Yeah, it's just a fixation. I've heard of a thing called oral fixation before, and I think that might be what it is. It just doesn't give me the same effects if I don't use the vape and put it to my mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've done research. That you're absolutely right. That is oral fixation. Have you thought about alternatives?
Well, what alternatives would you be talking about?
Um, well, I would love to provide you with a few suggestions if you're open to it.
Sure.
Yeah, so there are a few new brands that have come out recently, and they are vapes. They look like a vape, they feel like a vape, but there's no nicotine. There is no nicotine in it, and it is not as unhealthy as a vape, and it still gives you that sort of relief, that oral fixation that comes with the vape. But it's not putting any harmful chemicals in your body. What do you think about that?
But yeah, I heard about those. I also saw something about tobacco-less cigarettes, something like that.
Yeah, would you be open to trying that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. I know something as addicting as nicotine, it can be something that's very hard to give up. So I think what's important is to take baby steps. So going back to what you previously said, you said you are thinking about it during class, and it disrupts your game, your basketball game. You feel like you have to stop in the middle of it. What else?
Yeah.
What else does the vape affect? What else in your daily life?
Well, sometimes I'm worried about what people might think if I meet someone new and I'm talking to them and they find out that I have this problem with a vape. It doesn't feel like a good thing to reveal that. And I also think sometimes I'm not as attentive as I should be because I'm just thinking about the vape.
Okay, so you're feeling some guilt, maybe, maybe some shame, some embarrassment. Have you always felt this way when you vape?
Well, not at the beginning, but yeah, after I realized it was a problem, yes, that's when I started feeling that way.
All right. When did you start vaping?
I started when I was 16, so 5 years ago.
All right. And why don't you think you were embarrassed by it before?
I think because so many people I knew were doing it with me that it seemed like a good idea and I didn't have a reason to be embarrassed. But now that people have gotten past it and I haven't, it seems like something embarrassing.
Okay. So, you didn't feel embarrassed because so many other people were doing it. Why did you start it in the first place?
I definitely started it because of peer pressure and people's recommendations, which is not a good reason to do that.
Okay. So, you initially didn't want to vape. It wasn't something that you wanted to do. It wasn't something that, it wasn't an idea that came from you. It was from other people, from peer pressure. But now that you are 5 years into vaping, it is something that you want to do, and it's no longer peer pressure. It's what you want to do. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, there's no outside factors that are causing me to do it besides myself. It's all me at this point.
Okay. You've been vaping for quite a while, and you've tried alternatives, but they haven't quite worked. You can tell this is something that's affecting your health, your personal life, your academics, and you're ready to give it up.
Yeah, if I could choose to be rid of it immediately, I would, but it's not that easy.
Right. Okay, so this is very important to you. I'm curious, how confident are you that you can stop vaping?
I'm not entirely sure because, well, I know I have it in me, but I'm not sure if the process will be easy. I'm scared that it'll be very hard.
Okay, that's completely understandable. When you say it's hard, what comes to mind when you think about quitting vaping?
Pain and withdrawals, and um, that's just about it. I mean, all the other things that come to mind are positive. I
Okay.
save money and I don't have to worry about my health.
Yeah, so there's a lot of reasons that you've come up with to quit vaping. Have you tried to quit in the past?
Yes, I did, and it was during COVID. So when no vape shops were open, and so that would have been 4 years ago, and I wasn't old enough to legally buy a vape. So I had to kind of quit. I was forced to quit, but once the shops started opening again, I just got right back into it.
Okay. And how did you feel when you were forced to quit vaping?
At that point, I was only 1 year into it. I felt like it was probably the best decision, but it felt bad during the process for sure.